Hello, welcome to Sweet Savage Flame. This is your host, Jacqueline Diaz, and this is Sweet Savage Flame, where we talk about everything old school romance from Avon to Zebra. So, since Halloween is just around that corner, it's time to take a look at the scary side of romance. No, unfortunately, not gothics, although I promise we'll get to more eventually here. We'll be focusing on six horrifying villainous heroes in the Harlequin Presents. The Harlequin Presents line is notorious for some cruelty some male protagonists can inflict on their heroines. Some of these books are surprisingly very well written, yet the horrific truth is that these heroes were villains. Villainous heroes were popular 40 years ago, and they still are to this day. Now, why would anyone ever want to read about romances where the heroes are the bad guys? Well, why not? So long as we understand we're reading fiction, at times it's hypnotizing to take a peek at the darkness that lurks beneath the human surface, to witness what sadistic moments and torments twisted love can create, and then thankfully close the pages on that misbegotten romantic nightmare. At Sweet Savage Flame, we're equally about the sweet and the savage. Trick or treat. She couldn't refuse a dying man's wish. It took just one phone call to shatter Lauren's peace, a peace painfully acquired through the years since her bitter divorce from Andreas Keralides. His mother's frantic call was intended to bring Lauren to Andreas' side. A near-fatal accident had robbed him of his strength and memory. He'd forgotten the incident that changed their lives, thought they were still blissfully married. But Lauren would never forget, especially when she considered the wife and son who had succeeded her in Andreas's heart. Now, Charlotte Lamb is an author who can always tug at the heartstrings and emotions, and in this one, she really gets you right in the gut with an evil hero. Andreas divorced his wife to be with another woman and their child. Now, an accident has left him amnesiac, and he needs Lauren to help him recover. Sounds like a good setup, right? But his cruelty knows no bounds, and Andreas will commit evil and wickedness upon Lauren, and we're going to wonder what she sees in him until the very end. Now, book number 2 of our villains who feature as heroes is Mansion for My Love by Robin Donald. Now, this is a very legendary and controversial romance novel. This is number 567. I believe the cover artist here was Len Goldberg. You can tell by the turned up noses on the heroine and hero that that's Len Goldberg's trademark. And let's read the blurb from Mansion for My Love. He's not a good man to fall in love with. Fane had not ignored the mourning, but even without his wealth, charm, and good looks, Burke Hardin had a magnetism. His determined pursuit and assault on her heart soon overcame her wavering resistance. She agreed to marry him, but some deep instinct of self-preservation kept her from revealing her love, and in time her decision was vindicated. I carefully avoided telling you that I love you, he told her when Fane discovered she was a stand-in for the woman he truly loved, but could not have. Now, this is a very controversial book because, as we can tell, the hero deceptively maneuvers himself into the heroine's life, makes her fall in love with him, gets married, and the truth is revealed. He's secretly in love with someone else. Burke marries the heroine Fane under false pretenses. On their wedding day, Fane overhears Burke declare his love for his disabled brother's wife. He forces Fane into a marriage she doesn't want, and when his brother dies, he leaves Fane for his brother's widow. Really an angsty romance with a hero you want to just hit over the head with a frying pan. He is unbelievably evil. Now, book number 3 on our list would be Another book by Robin Donald, big surprise. It was very difficult making this list to not make it just 6 books by Robin Donald. She has an art form to making and creating evil villainous heroes. So hero number 3 on our list is from book 623, The Guarded Heart by Robin Donald. And if we read the back blurb, it tells us his was a terrible vengeance. Alana's thoughtlessness when she was 16 had caused an accident with tragic consequences. Then, 3 years later, when she'd finally come to terms with the past, she was painfully reminded of her guilt. Nicholas Challoner, haunting, brooding for his dead wife and unborn child, was not a man to forget or to forgive. He demanded a retribution that only Alana could pay, and the elaborate web he had woven as part of his revenge left her no way out. Now, this book already tells you from the back blurb how bad it gets. 16-year-old Alana gets into an accident, which kills Nicholas's wife and child. Years later, he seeks revenge. How? By kidnapping Alana and demanding she give him the child that she took away from him. And Nicholas even gets his mom in on the plot. It's a very sick book. The things he does to this poor girl just because of an accident in her life, in her early childhood, it's really awful. And I believe the cover artist here is Tom Bjarnason. I'm pretty sure that that's the cover artist here on this book. So take a look at Robin Donald's The Guarded Heart for another evil villain. Now, book number 4 on our list is number 629, Shatter Dreams by Sally Wentworth. Sally Wentworth is an author who can write amazing books. I would put some of her Harlequin Presents up in the top. And then some books that really kind of make you wonder what the hell she was thinking. And Shatter Dreams is one of them. Now, Hugo marries Kate out of lust. His love was only an illusion, according to the back blurb. On her wedding day, Kate felt how miraculous it was to truly be loved, to love and be loved. As Hugo's wife, she knew the rest of her life would be blessed. Then Kate overheard her husband's grim plan for their future together, a plan of revenge against Kate. Desperately hurt and afraid of the stranger who was her husband, she ran away to Mallorca to heal her heart in safety and solitude. But she underestimated the power of Hugo's will and the compulsion that drove him to reclaim her, for better or for worse. In this one, Hugo believes that his wife has been, the woman that he has married, has had a lover. He has a private investigator follow her and mistakes Kate's brother for her lover. So Hugo plans revenge and imprisons her in his home. He shames her and he even attempts to drown her. This book is crazy with how intensely jealous the hero is. And we wonder, is this the hero or is this the villain? Now, book number 5 on our list is by Ann Mather. We jump and skip to number 1354, Indiscretion. And our so-called hero is Jake. Let's read the back blurb. She had 1 week, and that was all. It was Abby's one chance to turn back the clock to the carefree days when she and Jake had explored his island retreat in the Bahamas. Abby had loved Jake, and she had lost him. And not just Jake, but Dominic, the child of their love. But Jake was no longer the man she had known. He seemed like a disturbing stranger. Abby knew it was foolish to think the traumas of the past could be resolved, yet she couldn't quite squelch the faint hope within her. Now, Indiscretion features a hero that does something so awful to the heroine. He basically takes their child away from her. Jake and Abby had an intense affair, yet he reviled her for her sexual past. After she gave birth to their child, he sued for custody and married another woman. Now, after divorce and a heart attack, he wants Abby back in his life. But is this the guy we want to see back in her life? She wants her child back, so that's what she's going to have to do. Indiscretion by Ann Mather, featuring another horrific hero. And finally, last on our list is a book by Charlotte Lamb. Charlotte Lamb was a first, and she also is the last on the list. She shows up twice like Robin Donald because she and Robin Donald both could create horrifically brutal heroes that you just wondered what the deal was with these guys. Here in book number 1913, The Marriage War by Charlotte Lamb, if you read the back blurb of the book, something worth fighting for. Sancha's first instinct was to burn the anonymous letter. Its malicious message couldn't be true. Do you know where your husband will be tonight? Do you know who he'll be with? Sancha adored Mark as now much as when they had first married, even though family life meant they were no longer so close. She never dreamt that her tough, handsome husband would fall into the arms of another woman. The battle was on. Though when Sancha confronted Mark, she discovered the physical attraction between them was as strong as ever, but she wouldn't let herself be seduced by him. Not yet. So let's break it down. Here in the marriage war, we meet Mark, a married man with wife and children at home and a secretary in the office. Is Mark having an affair? Well, maybe. What he does that's even worse than possibly having an affair is that he gaslights his wife with taunting letters, posing as the other woman. And that is something so unforgivable, we wonder how he can ever be redeemed. So, this has been a list of 6 villainous heroes in Harlequin Presents, and we think that these heroes are appropriate for the Halloween season, Halloween holiday coming up, and something to maybe read right before if you're in the mood for something scary. These books might just be it. All right, so we'll talk to you next time. This again is Jacqueline Diaz for Sweet Savage Flame, where we're saying, have a haunted and lovely Halloween.